Man United are open for offers on Casemiro. We have to talk about this. Of course we do. I'm going to give you my opinion, but most importantly, guys, I want your opinion on Casemiro. And will you sell him in January? Is it too soon? Are we going to be left too short? Get your comments in on the live show right now. If you are watching this after the live is finished, make sure you smash the like button and also put your comments in on the video below, guys. Let me know what you think about Casemiro. We've got a ton of other news to talk about tonight as well, about standards and how long players are actually going to get under BERRADA and the new regime at Manchester United. Interesting quotes coming out of that one. Palestra deal stalls. Go on loan, pretty much done. Cut prices for Sancho, cut prices for Antony. There is a ton of news to get through this evening. Welcome along, everybody. This is Forever United TV. I'm Adam. Make sure you do hit the subscribe button if you're loving the content and you like your news straightforward and to the point. And obviously, give the video a like and share it. Sharing is caring. Let's get into the news, everyone. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. If you may be watching from around the world, let me know in the chat where you're watching from. We are a international channel here. We get opinions from all over the place. I've travelled and followed United everywhere in the world. On one side of the world to the other side. And the fan base is absolutely immense. And you know what? People who watch and are committed to watching Manchester United in, say, for instance, Australia, New Zealand, over in America, and the times that these fans get up and watch Manchester United, the commitment they have got to watching their football club is just beyond anything else. And that's what this channel's about, bringing everyone together in the chat, different times for lives and different stages for videos so everyone can have their say. We're talking Casemiro, everybody. Get your thoughts in right now because Manchester United apparently are open to offers. So, Cancelo, the man, chief football correspondent for The Standard, is reporting this today. He's been all over this today, breaking these bits of news and snippets of information coming out of Manchester United that there is a Saudi interest in Casemiro more than anyone else in Manchester United's ranks right now. You can see why. Connection-wise, what's going to lure Casemiro away? Cristiano Ronaldo, we've seen that powwow and that little meet the other day. He's coming to the end of his career. Obviously, he hasn't got the speed anymore. He can earn an absolute packet. Obviously, tax-free as well. But realistically, is Casemiro at that stage of his career? Is he done and dusted right now in top-flight football? I don't think he is. I mean, I'd go as far as to say if Manchester United were to get rid of Casemiro, and this is if United get the right offer. So United apparently are open to offers for Casemiro if it comes in. Even if that offer comes in January, I personally think that would be absolute craziness if Manchester United were to get rid of Casemiro right now. But looking at it from the other side, and we like to balance the argument, obviously, here on Forever United TV, I would say if United got a better price in January compared to what they might get in the summer, is it worth cashing in on him right now? Even though we are not going to bring anyone else in this January in midfield, the quality that is going to replace Casemiro is Kobe Mainoo enough? Amrabat, Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandes. Surely we'd need to bring someone else in, especially if we're sending Dan Gore out on loan to Port Vale, which is the other news coming out as a definite today as well. This is, for me, very, very interesting, and it would have to be a significant bid for Casemiro. I'm just going to put a poll up right in the chat right now. I'm going interactive mode, guys. I want to know. Straight ask. Simple. Casemiro. Sell if big money came in. Let me know, people. Poll is up right now in the live chat. Would you sell Casemiro if a substantial amount of money came in for him? We are going to be short. Very, very, very short. But what I've noticed in the chat over recent weeks and over videos that I've done is there's been a bit of a mix with the fan base. And this is why I want to know. I want to gauge this with the audience right now and see where you are at with Casemiro. I mean, let's be honest. Last season, no one was getting rid of Casemiro. This season, he was playing, was absolutely crap, really, wasn't he? He was shocking. He looked about 4 yards behind the pace. Is there any guarantee that Casemiro is going to come back in the next 4 months, hit the ground running straight away? There's been a bit of unrest with Erik ten Hag. If there's an opportunity there to sell Casemiro, and obviously I'm selling the other side of it here a little bit, I will balance the argument as to the good bits of Casemiro. But if there's no guarantee Casemiro is going to come back and hit the ground running, and he could come back and perform like he did at the start of the season. He might come back and perform like he did last season. But one thing is for definite, there is no guarantee anyone knows exactly what he's going to come back like, what his mindset is going to be. Is he going to risk anything now, knowing that he is possibly going to probably move anyway in the summer if he didn't move this January? Have you got full commitment from Casemiro with Erik ten Hag? All of these points come into play when it comes to actually selling Casemiro in January. And I think they're the only reasons why you would sell him. It's the unknown of what's coming back. For me, though, and this is my opinion alone, you guys debate it. Let me know in the poll as well what you think. You cannot let Casemiro go because there's no one out there that I think United could go and get of equal or anywhere near quality of Casemiro and what he can bring. Erik ten Hag needs leaders to save his job, in my opinion. Now, this goes to show the power. If Casemiro was sold, I would be 100% convinced. And I don't think he will sell him, but I'd be convinced if Casemiro was sold in January, I'd be convinced that this was a move from the club above Erik ten Hag. As to dealing with financial fair play, the books, if the right offer came in, if we, for instance, got £35 million offer for Casemiro, and we knew we couldn't get that in the summer, is that too much to turn down, knowing that there's no guarantee we're going to get back into the Champions League? Is that balancing the loss? Knowing that you've got Kobbie Mainoo there, the investment coming from Sir Jim Radcliffe that's coming through as well, all going into a new structure which we've talked about under BERRADA and everyone else that comes into Manchester United over the next coming months as part of their new team and new recruitment structure at United. But Casemiro, I cannot let Casemiro go. I can't. We cannot rely on Scott McTominay. Bruno is in the worst form of his career right now. Kobbie Mainoo has just come through from the youth setup. Amrabat is sinking. Absolutely. Amrabat is sinking in the Premier League and the standards and the speed of what is expected. There is no one else. Like I said, we're sending Dangor out on loan. Mason Mount, we don't know what he's going to come back like. So realistically, the bid would have to be ridiculous for Manchester United to consider it. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm talking... Now, I mentioned 35. Would that be a cut-off for people? I think Manchester United, if they got an offer of 45 to 50 million for Casemiro, which I cannot see happening, they'd have to be desperate to actually want to pay that amount of money for a guy who is 31, going into his twilight of his career. Yes, the Saudis may go for that. Al Ettifaq, who've just let Jordan Henderson go. They've got money to spend right now. Are they willing to offer money to Casemiro? Is the lure of Ronaldo and the easy life too much for Casemiro to turn down? That big wage that United would be saving as well? Honestly, I don't think it's... The question you've got to ask is, realistically, will Casemiro give us enough from now until the end of the season to get us back in the Champions League? Is it enough? Otherwise, you're really starting to get an argument between selling him right now and selling him in the summer. We have to get the Casemiro from last season back, and there's no guarantee. This is the only reason the debate is actually happening, because you just don't know. I'm keeping him, personally. That's where I'm at. I'm just putting the argument out there, because there are people that would say, get rid of him now. If the offer comes in right, then you have to let Casemiro go. You do. But I cannot live with Scott McTominay. I honestly cannot live with McTominay. I've been looking forward to seeing Casemiro, Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes. I want to see that free, personally. I want to see how Mount comes back into the situation, and has he got the bit between his teeth? Amrabat still at AFCON. Honestly, Amrabat and McTominay are not the future of Manchester United. They're really not. If we lost Casemiro this season, then we are scraping the barrel. And I don't see us ever having a combative midfield. I don't know who else comes through. I really don't. I don't know who else plays in that position or how we work it. It is an impossible one. We've obviously got Eriksen, we've got Bruno, we've got Mount. Can Mount play a different role? I just don't know. I really don't know. For me, I can't get rid of Casemiro. But if 50 million was to come in for Casemiro, and that's the money that I would start to think, you cannot turn that down for a 31-year-old who is 2 years into his contract, who we really did get absolutely slaughtered for in the transfer market with Real Madrid paying 60 million, knowing that he was going to be on a 5-year deal. If you're getting 50 million 2 years in, I don't know if the club right now could afford to turn that down. That would be a huge, huge boost financially for Manchester United right now. Let me know what you think. I'm heading into the chats. Get your Casemiro points in. I'm going to go to the poll first and see. But before that, right on 10 minutes. Can we get 10 likes in to make the 100 mark on the like counter already, everyone? Please, like. Let's get there. We are pretty bang on 10 minutes right now. So let's give the video a like, everybody. Thank you. I'm going to scroll up and randomly stop right on here. Get cash in on him now in the summer along with Bruno. Cash in on him in the summer, Gehan says, along with Bruno. Get off the Bruno. We're not talking Bruno, Gehan. Come on. We're not talking Bruno. Bruno is the least of our problems right now. He really is. I don't care what anyone else says. But Casemiro, 67% of you would sell Casemiro right now in January if the right offer came in. Wow, I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that. That's blown me away a little bit, actually. 68% of the vote has said sell Casemiro in January if the right offer came in. Are you literally cutting your losses there, just accepting that we were slaughtered for the price and had our pants taken down 2 summers ago? 60 million. If you can get 50 million back 2 years into that with a player that's 31, knowing that you're not going to get that anywhere near that price in the future, does money outweigh performance on the pitch right now for United? Are we giving up on a season is the question I would ask if we sell Casemiro in January. Is that Manchester United giving up on a season, writing this one off and just then trying to rebuild in the summer? Yeah, 50 million will go a long way to rebuilding the squad and to the coffers and the transfer kitty. But can Manchester United afford to let a season go? Because I don't think we've got any chance if we let Casemiro go. He's the only other bit of quality in that midfield, apart from Bruno Fernandes. I know he's out of form, but he is quality. And Kobe Mainoo. Maybe Eriksen, but he is really struggling right now. Manchester United could be absolutely depleted by the time the summer comes. It could be an absolutely crazy summer transfer window. But still, 67% of you would get rid of Casemiro in January. Wow! Okay, let's get into the chat. Casemiro contract is crazy. Get rid, says Gray. Yes, but would have to be worth our while. Casemiro is 40 already. Let's be honest. These are all comments coming in here. Love his chubby cheeks though, says Kaz. Casemiro has not been available for 17 games this season, as he is on 350 a week. That is 5 million on wages for Nout. This is simply not good enough, and he is too unreliable. Needs to go. John, breaking it down simply there in terms of wages, performance level, availability. Is that enough for you guys? Coming on John's comment there as well, guys. Selling him in January is stupid. Even if we get a good bid, will we be able to get anyone else in? I don't think we would. I don't know if we would just go out in the loan market and get someone. I don't know who's available. But I don't think they'd spend that money straight away if we sold Casemiro. I do believe that we would have to probably save that towards the summer. Over 400 in the room with us right now, guys. Only 30 minutes in. That's fantastic. Thank you. Already we have well over 100 likes. Let's get that up, everybody, please. Let's get the likes up past the 150 mark. Thank you very much. Get your comments. Keep it on coming in. Casemiro is a good player. Casemiro is a good player. Don't like we get rid of him. This is from SPK. However, if we get good money for him, why not be an ain't getting younger or older? Right, yeah, you mean he ain't getting younger or older. I sort of got there where you went with a comment. A few typos in that one, mate. But yes, he ain't getting any younger. And will we get a better bid for him later on down the line is what SPK is saying. Paul M says, Casemiro is proven world-class player. His poor reflection on Ten Hag and his team if they are not getting the best out of Casemiro. Well, this is what I said. This is the upset and upheaval with Casemiro after the Brentford game. Obviously, he was brought off at half-time. And Erik Ten Hag came out in the press conference afterwards and said, well, we wanted to change up. We wanted to play better football. That's the biggest insult in the world. That's like when he did it to Rafael Varane. It was for football reasons why Evans and Maguire were ahead of a World Cup Champions League winner. You cannot tell these people that have played at the highest level at Real Madrid that you're changing them out of the team just so we can play better football. That does not work with these types of players. And that, I can say, is definitely on Ten Hag in handling big ego players. This will be the first time he has handled anyone who has won more than him. Let's be honest with that. That is the case. You've got very experienced players here who he's not been able to handle. And I do agree with the argument on Ten Hag and his team not being able to get the best out of him a little bit. But this is a full-on top pro. If he cannot get himself ready for a game or up his standards himself, then you have to question the man's mentality as well in all of this, not just the manager's. Matt Thrower, what do people consider good money for me? It would have to be something ridiculous. We would need someone coming in, and I don't think we would. I don't think we would get anyone in. It would have to be a big bid. Lee Mack, Fabinho went for 40 mil, and he's older. You will get 40 to 50 mil for Casemiro, says Lee Mack. Mainu has the legs to cover Casemiro. Kaz has the experience to cover Mainu. That midfield works, says Sunil. Yes, it does. It definitely does. I can't wait to see it. But will we see it is the question we're asking tonight. Nobody there to replace him. We need Kobe to have a few seasons next to Casemiro. I don't think he'll get a few. Personally, I think Casemiro has gone in the summer no matter what anyway, which is why I feel this question is quite relevant in terms of would you sell Casemiro in January if the better offer came in now? Graham says it depends on how strapped the club is with regard to selling priority. Yeah, it does, Graham. Where are we at going into the summer? Obviously, the financials and the books need to be in place before July the 1st. That's when the next PSR financial year turnaround is. So, obviously, Everton and Nottingham Forest are in trouble for theirs leading up to July 1st last year. So the next one is July 1st. So with the transfer window only opening up, I think, on the middle of June, you have until, you've got 2 weeks to get everything done transfer-wise. Are Manchester United thinking they have to fall into line with PSR before that deadline, which is July the 1st? We've seen the figures that came out and the loss that we're making. Now, this would be figures from 2021 to 22, 22 to 23, and 23 to 24. That's the 3-year cycle that we're dealing with right now for PSR, profit and sustainability. So will the club be thinking along them lines, maybe? That's what you've got to bring into this as well. You have to secure United, and we cannot afford to be going into any season with a deduction of points. That would just be the end for Manchester United. Way too much. So is this the way that United are thinking, maybe, if the right offer comes in? I think with the way the financials are, I think we can be safe simply because of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's investment. But say, for instance, just worst case scenario, the Premier League did not ratify Sir Jim Ratcliffe's 25%, Casemiro would have to go. I think because we've got an owner or part owner who's coming in and willing to invest his money into Manchester United, that can be offset against financial fair play. And PSR, sorry. But if they didn't, then Casemiro would be gone. If Sir Jim Ratcliffe was not coming in, Casemiro would have to be sold if the right offer came in, is what I'm saying, basically. Casemiro still has 4 years in him. No way we want to let him go for 50 million, says Poke Connor. Dobby, I think the Docs are just being cautious because it's hard. Private conversation again in the chat, happens all the time. Would he want to go there? Nearly all players who gone or want to come back don't like it over there, says Mr. T. I'm hearing that Milinkovic-Savic went. I didn't even know he went over there. That went under the radar, that for me. He's been there 6 months, wants to come back. We already know about Jordan Henderson. This Saudi Pro League is not all it's cracked up to be. I'm going to be doing a video on top of the league after this one regarding the Super League and the announcements that have come today as well. So stay tuned for that one, guys. Got some interesting takes on everything that's going on with that right now. But I think we can draw the line under Casemiro. Should get 20 million for Casemiro, says Ian. Wow. Standards are dropping. Don't want conference. If we get that, going to be sorry, Adam, as in Europa Conference League, I think is what you mean by that. Yeah, we will regret that. That will be embarrassing for Manchester United. Casemiro stays, tries to get us high up there, win the FA Cup, something like that, get in the Europa League at least. Maybe enough to salvage Ten Hag's job. I've already said, look, just Champions League or bust, really. That's what United need. But I'm going to close the poll right now, and 68% of you have said you would sell Casemiro this January transfer window. I did not expect that. I really didn't. One thing I did expect is all the love from you guys. Over 150 likes in the bag. Thank you very much. Make sure you keep liking the video. Just under 500 in the room with us right now. Keep liking, keep sharing. And obviously, if you are tuning in for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are talking Casemiro, but we are moving on right now to the standards and more talk coming out of the Ineos camp regarding what we can expect as Manchester United fans going forward. This is, again, music to my ears. I'm sure music to your ears as well, everybody. That we've got a two-year and you're out sort of method going on. I think that quote's been taken from Omar BERRADA in terms of players need to be hitting their mark after 2 years. Otherwise, it's pointless keeping them around. I've always said this. I always judge players after 2 years at the football club. This is how I look at it. And it's like, Antony, I give all the backing last season. I thought his work rate, his defensive capabilities, what he did, the goals he scored, important goals he scored. I was an Antony backer last season. But this year, he's completely fallen off. And I'm just not willing to back a player that isn't good enough anymore. You have to get better in the second season at Manchester United. You cannot just fall off. It isn't good enough for Manchester United. And I think BERRADA and what's been talked about is simply how things are going to be for Manchester United going forward. We're not going to cling on to players for 3 or 4 years. So let's talk now. And I want you to get your comments in on this one right now. Quick super chat from Jens, though. Thank you, Jens. Selling Casemiro and let Erik Ten Hag buy more Ajax crap. No, that's one thing we don't want. In the comment section right now, going off what I just said there, if this was the case, I don't know if there'd be anyone left, but let's play the game anyway. So Manchester United's current squad, would anyone still be at the club if the standard was, if you're not still playing well after 2 years of joining the football club, you would be out of the door? Would anyone in that Manchester United team, let's look at players that might actually survive that, who are currently in the squad. And you can bring in players that have just come in a year into their careers at Manchester United, or even Kobbie Mainoo, who's just come through as a youth player. Anyone in this squad that would survive under this new regime, if the standard was, if you're still not playing well after 2 years, or you've fallen out of the team after 2 years, you're out of the football club. Is there anyone that would survive it? I've straight off the top of my head, the obvious ones are the players that have just come in. So Mason Mount's got to have a big season next season, and Kobbie Mainoo would definitely be in it. Garnacho, 100%. Highlands, he's okay at the moment. We can see potential. He's just about hanging on. He would have to have a good year next year, though, as well. New players in Onana needs a good year next year, definitely. But Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Luke Shaw probably would be in this equation. This is probably why we're looking at Aaron Wan-Bissaka leaving as well. Is Bruno Fernandes playing well? Has he played well for more than 2 years? His first 2 years were great, but he has fallen off somewhat. Eriksen now into his second year, not cutting it. Would he be on that list to go? You just look at the amount of players that, if this was the model that we were working with, would not be at Manchester United. There's too many, I know. And I don't think this model can be implemented straight away. I think it's impossible to do that. But still, you look at it and you go, it just goes to show the standards. And Manchester City's players, I mean, we were talking with James last night and he said, look, when a team's running well and you've got a team that actually works and they all know what they're doing, you bring a new player in, they sometimes don't hit the ground running because it takes a while to understand Pep's methods, catch up with the intensity of what their game is, work out how they want to play. And you usually find a few of the players that first come in don't hit the ground running, but the second season, for some reason, and this happened with Grealish as well, they always manage to hit it in the second season. Some even in the first season. I mean, Haaland, obviously. But for me, I would say definitely 3/4 of Manchester United squad haven't performed for 2 seasons in a row. at any point in their careers. 100%, I would say. And that shows from the positions we've finished in the league. The stats don't lie. The table never lies, as they say. Manchester United are never competing for the title. Last season, we did well. We got third. We should have been moving on top of that and progressing from that, but we've just fallen even further behind to worse than we've ever been in the Premier League in its history. How is that fall off acceptable? This is something that will not happen in the future, is what we're talking about right now. Let's get into the chat and see what you guys think. Luke Hay said, I think Bruno is getting played out of position, Adam. I do. I've said this before. Play him in his position. We'll get the best out of him. Play every player in the best position and you'll get more out of them. Robert Hale, I would cash in on Cass, get a transfer fee and free up some wages. Will be one more higher earner gone. Just getting rid. Just out of there. He's launching him. Not a single one of their big wage earners makes an impact. Jettison, all of them. Graham says, Adam would be blonde by now. 908 likes at least from the breaking news one. No, Graham, it has to be live. 500 likes for me to dye my hair. That is it. They have to happen while we're live. So that's not happening, is it? We're at 193, so I'm sure you can all get 7 likes and at least we get to the 200 mark. I think, I challenge you now, I think you'll struggle to get to the 300 like mark in this show. So you show me if you think it can happen. But 500 likes and I will dye my hair. It's not going to happen, no, guys. Tough. Gabrielle says, unbalanced midfield. It has been unbalanced for a long, long time. Highest paid mid-table squad I've ever seen. Third highest in Europe, I think it is, Paul. Rashford needs to go, Adam. This is another season where, like Mike says there, is this a summer where Marcus Rashford will go? Well, I talked this morning about the 5 things that Omar Barrera has to do at Manchester United, and selling players was top of the list. And I don't just mean the obvious players. I'm talking players like Rashford. Is time up for Marcus Rashford? He doesn't perform consistently enough. And will he be one of them players, that profile of player, that now is weaned out of Manchester United for underperforming? That's what you've got to look at. I feel like right now the standards are going to go up a notch. And I think that's where Manchester United need to set their low bar. Their low bar has to be top 4 standard every single season. When you set that as like the bare minimum, then everything else can progress every season on top of that. We cannot get in the Champions League consistent seasons in a row. I can't remember the last time we actually did it. In fact, someone actually tell me in the chat, I'm sure Graham will come back with that one. When was the last time we qualified for the Champions League 2 seasons in a row? And I was saying that alone just makes me sick, knowing that how our main competitors and local rivals are and how frequently they are in the Champions League. It does make you absolutely sick knowing that United cannot continuously qualify for the Champions League. It's not right, and that standard has to change at Manchester United. It really, really does. You deserve equal likes to Forest Supporters channel, mate. This is the best out there. Yes, Forest channel. I don't know what Forest channel that is, actually. Oh, I know what you mean now. Nice one, John. Yeah, didn't click on straight away there, mate, but yeah, I got it. Wouldn't even look at their talent making more than 250 a week, then adios / not enough bang for their buck. Yep. Harrison's days out with dad. I like that name. I'd sell Rashford and bring in 2 or 3 players with the money. He doesn't deserve the huge contract. It's everything what's been wrong with this club. It's a fair point, Harrison. You know what? He's brutal, but he's honest. That's what we like on this channel. That's what it's like. Graham's come back with me and said, Jose Mourinho, yes, it was. Jose Mourinho was the last manager at Manchester United to finish in the qualify for the Champions League 2 seasons in a row. Although his first season was winning the Europa League, we didn't finish in the top 4. So we got in automatically through winning it. The second season was his biggest achievement of his career. You remember that one when we finished second to Manchester City. That comment right now doesn't look too bad, does it? It was a massive achievement. It really was. Adam, thoughts on Onana, says Wayne. Worried about him, very worried. Someone asked me a question I think someone commented on one of the posts that I put out on YouTube, and they were saying, Adam, are you glad now that you as a De Gea out? Am I regretting being a De Gea out? Well, no. I stand by De Gea deserved to lead the football club. I still don't think he's the standard of goalkeeper that we need. We need more in a goalkeeper. And I thought his form had dropped off. I'm not surprised that no one's actually... Well, I am a bit surprised, but I'm a little taken aback by no one actually picking him up. This is the second transfer window that David De Gea has been a free agent, and he still doesn't have a club. So we have to let that sink in. But my concern is Onana. It is, yes. I was convinced that Onana was the right keeper. I thought he was the way forward. And you know what? There's some parts of his game he's better than De Gea at. But honestly, his confidence levels, I've never seen a man look so shaky or nervous in front of goal. De Gea looked bad at times, but Onana, wow, he's taking it to the next level. Manchester United are in a position right now where we're in the Taibe, Fabian Barthez, Roy Carroll, Tim Howard sort of goalkeeper era where we cannot find a settled keeper. I think possibly, if it gets any worse, then Manchester United may be in the market for a new goalkeeper going forward. That's how I feel about Andre Onana. I do. Do you know what? I go as far as to say, and someone was talking the other day about Bayindir. I think it was the other day. No, sorry, it was this morning actually. Someone was talking about Bayindir not being good enough. Seen the videos of him. I know Tom Heaton's a good goalkeeper. I'm not just saying that because I've spoken to him personally, and he's a top guy, he's a top pro. But actually, do you know what? I'm going to open it up. I'm just going to make a poll on this right now. And guys, obviously, if you're watching this later on and you're not part of the live chat, then vote on this in the comment section as well. Wait for it. I'm going to ask a great question right now. Who would you rather? I'm not going to tell you until it goes up in the chat. This is where this will be a great gauge of where the United fan base is right now. Okay, you ready for this one? Okay. The question is, and this is the poll going up in the chat right now, and like I said, if you're watching a video later on when it's on YouTube and it's not live, just drop your comment in anyway and let me know what you think. Who would you rather be in goal for Manchester United? Tom Heaton or Andre Onana? Now there's a question for you right now. The poll is up. I'm really intrigued to see how this one goes, actually. Anyway, you went well over 5.5 in the room with us, guys. Over 250 likes on the video. Congratulations, guys. You're actually trying to push it a little bit. I challenge you to get to 300. I said you wouldn't be able to make it. But, yeah, I'm not bringing Bayindir into this one. I'm just gauging, in a way. I would obviously have Bayindir. I want to see what he can do. I think every player deserves a chance, and he's had none. He's had no chance whatsoever. So Bayindir is just irrelevant to this right now. It's just gauging, like, how far would you drop to not see Onana in goal for Manchester United? Say, for instance, Onana wasn't available and Bayindir pulled up with a calf injury or something like that. Sorry, Onana was coming back, but Bayindir wasn't available. You was unsure where to go with it. You had Heaton and you had Onana. Who would you pick to go in goal for Manchester United? The vote is up and the vote is hot right now. We have got, whoa, I've never seen so many votes go in on a poll so quickly. If I told you that it was a bit of a landslide at the moment, if you wasn't watching this show live, then, do you know what? I don't know how you'd react, actually, because this is like, it's just gauging where everyone is right now as a fan base. And, like, how confident are you? I mean, as a defender myself, I've said this all along. This was my biggest issue with De Gea. If De Gea was winning Player of the Year 4 years in a row, I would be retiring from football because he shouldn't be having that many shots to save. I think the defence is an absolute disgrace. If your goalkeeper is getting Player of the Year 4 years in a row, then as a defender, you are not doing your job. You are an absolute disgrace to the shirt. That's how I would look at it. That's just my own personal look on things and how I look at it as a defender. For me, David De Gea would fill me with no confidence whatsoever being behind me. He never came to claim balls. He was always spilling balls. He wasn't strong enough. He was weak. and never came off his line. Never came off his line. Looked like he was quiet as well. I was in the stands for a Carabao Cup game, I think last season. Or it might have been the season before. I can't remember which one it was. And I could hear... I sit second tier of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand on the halfway line. I could hear Tom Heaton shouting at his defence. That's the goalkeeper that I want as a defender behind me. A goalkeeper shouldn't have shots to save, in my opinion, because he should be organising his defence. This is a goalkeeper's job for me. He should be organising his defence and being very vocal as to getting people in position where they needed to be. He is the focal point. He is the main man, the most important cog in a defensive unit in a football team. He needs to be the one. He needs to be vocal. He needs to be leading that back line. Yes, you've got your centre-backs who also do that job, but the goalkeeper has to be absolutely on point, and he needs to be the leader of the pack. De Gea was never that. Onana doesn't look like he is that either. I thought he might be. I thought he had the character to do it. I thought he's strong. He's not afraid to come off his line. He's not afraid to have the ball at his feet. And that should give you confidence as a defender. It's anything but with Andre Onana. It really is. And it is a massive, massive concern for United because we've spent all this money on him. We've let goalkeepers like Kovar go, like Alex says there. Imagine selling Kovar to get this Onana guy for the amount of money. Eric Ten Hag out alone for this. No mention of McTominay and other selections. Well, that's it. I mean, Ten Hag has let Kovar go. He has let other keepers go. Here in VTech, he's also going to be going out on loan. I just want to talk about the other news. I'll let the poll run for a bit and your chat run, guys. But why is Bayindir not in the poll? I didn't want to bring Bayindir into the poll, Rory, that's all. I just wanted to gauge if Bayindir was injured, who would you rather be in your goal? The third choice keeper, who hasn't played a competitive Premier League game for how many years, against the keeper you spent a third of your budget on in the summer. I just wanted to know where everyone was at with it, that's all. But 570 in the room with us right now, just creeping up to the 300 like mark, guys. Please do give the video a like. Let's get over the 300 and subscribe if you are tuning in for the first time, everyone. Please hit that bell notification button. Get all your notifications when all the content is coming your way here on Forever United TV. For the long-term health of the club, I think that's what Ineos is focused on. You need to sell Casemiro or even let him go on a free. Get rid of his contract. He's only going to get worse. Oh, Justin. Wow. Luke says, I get Onana is having a rubbish season, but I think everyone forgets De Gea's first season at United. No, I don't. I thought, like I said, like everyone, he was poor in his first season. But the worry you've got is he was always in a settled side around Sir Alex Ferguson, and he was looked after well by some quality defenders. We haven't got that, and Onana's not going to have that chance. It needs to be a different type of character, I feel, to handle the pressure of being a United goalkeeper right now. Other news, we need to talk about everything else. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Yanks. Thank you. And that is a number 1 symbol there, or a, what's that, foam finger? I don't even know what that means. But yeah, thank you anyway. 300 likes as well. Thank you very much, guys. But Dango going to Port Vale. That looks like that is all confirmed and done. Port Vale's a long way away from Dortmund, where the original stories of Dango's actual loanee club, you would say, was going to be, where his destination was going to be this January. It's a long way off, isn't it? It is. But yeah, Port Vale, first team football for Dango now until the end of the season. That will be good. Hopefully he can come back and give us an option in the pre-season tour. I hope that is going to be in America again, by the way. So good to see him play some games as well on the tour. That would be great. Stephen Lazarus says Mainu equals completely overhyped, period. Wrong. I accept your opinion, Stephen, but I don't have to agree with it. He's not overhyped. I don't think anyone is expecting him to pull up any trees right now. It's just good to see a player come in and actually take the bull by the horns and not be put off by the crap that's being produced every single week and fall down to them standards as such, really. Leo, I keep saying it, that ironically, the worst thing that could have happened to us last year was Erik ten Hag getting top 4. Final nail in the coffin for the Glazers deciding not to sell. Just a few people were saying that at the time. I do believe that the Glazers were going to have to get investment anyway, simply because Champions League money alone, I think, isn't going to give them the money that they want. They need to take United to that next level. They need to be run and efficient in all departments. And I think that's why, at the end of the day, Ineos have come in with their 25%. That's why they've accepted that one. They can still make money out of the club and still look like they've made a successful business decision. It all looks well. They're in a win-win situation, the Glazers. That's what they're in right now. Mainu, a young prospect, doing a good job in a crap United. So how is that overhyped? I'll let you guys all argue that one out. You've got to come back with better responses than that, though, Stephen. That's just a cop-out. Come on, you've got to add context. Other news coming out is Manchester United hell-bent on getting Dan Ashworth. We've talked about this loads of times. Beforehand, I was worried. No contact had been made with Newcastle. Obviously, it couldn't because Ineos were even part of Manchester United. We did hear that the process to getting BERRADA through the door was through Ineos, which is good. That's a good sign. Brailsford, Sir Jim Radcliffe, then the Glazers, and then the deal's done and dusted. The confidence I've got now of getting Dan Ashworth is in how we've managed to get BERRADA from Manchester City. If anything, that was a tougher ask. But the way that Newcastle are right now, the way their finances are running, I think Dan Ashworth may be looking at the opportunity with a clean slate and not hampered as much by financial fair play. Yes, Newcastle will have money to spend in the summer, but the fact that they're looking at maybe Wilson, Almiron and Kieran Trippier leaving possibly in January shows you how close to the line they are with PSR as well. So maybe there's a lure there for Dan Ashworth as to say, look, Manchester United's revenues and everything that this club brings, we're going to run this club the right way. You're going to be part of Manchester United alongside BERRADA, Jean-Claude Blanc, Brailsford, Sir Jim Radcliffe, and maybe even Mitch. You're going to be part of the dream team of football structure. Then is that not appealing to you? I think they have got the capabilities of getting him out of there. I've got all confidence in the world that we can get Dan Ashworth now after what happened with BERRADA. Anything is possible, as they say. A total left field appointment like BERRADA has definitely opened everyone's eyes as to how powerful Ineos actually are and how much pull they've got. Come on, chat, get 500 likes for Adam blonde hair and pink beard. Who said anything about a pink beard, alien? That ain't happening. You got no chance of getting to 500 likes either, even though you have really give it a top go on this one tonight, guys. It has been immense. 300 and odd likes already is fantastic. Thank you so much. It does all help me with the channel and YouTube as well, guys. So keep the likes coming in, keep your comments coming in. And obviously make sure you share the video as well on your socials and that. Get people involved in the chat. Because we're talking down to the bare bones there, real football chat. I mean, that goes to show, look, right now, who would you rather have in goal on the poll, Heaton or Onana? 77% people. The two polls tonight have blown me away. First of all, 68% of the vote have said that Casemiro can go in January. And then the next poll, Heaton or Onana in goal for Manchester United. 77% have said they'd rather have Tom Heaton in goal than Onana. That, for me, is mind-blowing. But that's the mood of the United fan base right now. It's crazy, but it's true. It's crazy, but it's true. Pink beard for breast cancer awareness. I mean, I would do it for that. But you still got to get the likes. Yeah. David Burgess. Spurs scored a second goal. Was down to Ten Hag and his stupid tactical plan. We have been wide open through the middle since the Wolves game. That was the players switching off after the half-time. That's what that was, David. That was just ridiculous how Manchester United let... God, forgot the playing player's name again now. Players are just leaving my head right now. I've got that much going on in there. Bentancur, that's the one. Bentancur just strolled through the United defence. Unmarked, bang, 2-2, nothing happening. That was a big, big worry, it was. But Can I blame Ten Hag for that? I don't think so. Cut down prices for Jadon Sancho and Antony to round up the show and pretty much all the talk. There is a stumbling block for Granada and the loan move for Palestri as well, guys. So it does look like that one is not happening right now. They don't want to pay too much towards his wages. So quite rightly, United have just said, no, that ain't happening. We're not accepting anything right now. Good to see United holding the ground in a lot of these negotiations, loan or transfer types. It's the way it needs to be going forward. Need to be stronger in these negotiations. It's all been said. It has all been said. We won't lose to Newport, SPK, surely not. It does actually feel good that we've got a game to build up to this week as well, guys. It really does. But, yeah, it's it's just not, because, like I've said nearly every show recently, it's just been an absolute lull, hasn't it, with no football going on. It really has. I was just going to talk about Sancho and Antony then. Both of the players are available in the summer for transfers. Manchester United looking to take 50% loss pretty much on both of them players, according to reports. They would let Antony and Sancho go between 40 and 50 million. I think you're lucky to get 50 million or 40 million even for Antony right now with his output. I don't think anyone's going near that. I think we may even have to take a bigger loss on that one. But do you know what? If there was a chance for someone to come in and just take a cut down price on Antony and just say, look, it wasn't our fault, we're just doing our job of what we've got, then it's Ineos right now. This is the summer to do it. If you have to take 40 million for Sancho, 30 million for Antony just to get them out the door, then you have to just say, look, mistakes were made before. This isn't our fault. We're doing and dealing with what we got, and it's all for the better of the club moving forward from this point with our structure. What do you want us to do? It's the perfect opportunity for it to happen for United right now. Cut your bleeding losses. Let's move forward. But yes, looking ahead and moving forward, we have got a game to talk about this week, and we'll talk about Newport as we get closer. We will be down there at the grounds. Valley Parade, I'm there. I think Graham is going there as well. Me and Kaz are both going to the game, so there's going to be content from outside the stadium as well. So, yeah, do stay tuned for that. It will be a different weekend this weekend. A bit of a culture shock from Old Trafford, I will say that. Bit of League 2 action. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. That's the beauty of the FA Cup. But after that, it is back-to-back-to-back games for Manchester United. February is absolutely stacked. The fact that we are playing Wolves straight after that, then West Ham, some big games for United. Massive games. Wolves is a bit of a worry, I'm not going to lie. He's a big worry for me. But, hey, let's hope the boys can turn it around. Road trip. Yeah, do you guys want the road trip video back? The original road tripper. Should we do one? We'll do some form of like trip down there to Valley Parade and definitely, what's the name? Get some content out there for you guys. But in terms of this show, guys, just creeping up to the 50-minute mark right now. That is us all done and dusted. There is a link in the description. There's a link in the chat there that Kaz has put up for my rant on VAR and everything going on. I'm just about to go and do another one on the Super League as well. So, yeah, watch out for that video, which is coming out on Top of the League as well tonight. But, yes, will there be singing in the car, says guests, on the road trip? Do you want singing? Maybe I should put a post up to see what content you guys want for the road trip, eh? How about that? We'll involve you in this one, and what we'll do, we'll let you decide what type of road trip video it's going to be. So, yeah, that post will be coming up. Make sure you stay tuned for that one, guys, and then you can decide on what is said and done in that very road trip video. I'm going to end the poll, which says Heaton should be in goal, according to the United fan base, ahead of Onana. We've not even talked about Bain there. Onana's not even ahead of our third choice goalkeeper. But yes, guys, thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for the likes and everyone getting involved. It's been a great show. Really appreciate your guys' input into the show as well. But that is it for now, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Do check out my video on Top of the League as well, which is coming up tonight. And yeah, until then, have a great evening. Stay safe, stay inside, stay out of the storm. Like, share and subscribe, especially